Assalamu alaikum everybody. So, a long time no post, and there's a reason for it. As you can see, on my neck I have a neck collar or neck brace, and it's a hard one too, moving up from a soft one. The reason I haven't been posting is because a bunch of stuff happened, and I had just posted a post that said crazy stuff keeps happening. Well, it continues. So subhanallah. Uh, I think I'm being put through a lot of tests by God, and of course, I accept those tests and I try to stay positive and keep struggling on, inshallah. So now we're in Wednesday, I believe. Yeah. So exactly 3 weeks ago, I believe now. Yeah, 3 weeks ago and one day. I got up in the morning and I couldn't really move my arms or head. It just happened. Like within the first 5 minutes of getting up. Maybe it was the change to the one cold room or warm room. Um, and so went to class. It was normal. No pain. I just couldn't move my head or anything. And I would just like turn like that. And it was kind of funny. Just told one student. Um, the next day it got worse. My nose was running all night, and you can still tell, it's the allergies. They started up again, and it only happens here. I think it's to the dust. It happened in Damascus a lot too, but I don't really feel it in Michigan. So the it started to get more uncomfortable, and I could move a little bit more, but it was a little bit more painful. Friday was good. Saturday was terrible. I just had muscle spasms going off randomly. I was in so much pain. It really hurt to just stand there, sit down. It was just constant. It was really, 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 really painful. So that next Sunday, I go to the emergency room um, with the director of my program, and she's been so awesome. She's gone to me to the many times we've gone to the hospital and stuff like that. And they said it was a khat bard bi dahrak. Um, I think I talked about this a little bit in the last post, so I'm just giving you the big thing again. I said, okay, they gave me an IV, and they gave me 2 shots with it, and they gave me drugs to take for 3 days. Those 3 days were not an improvement, and it just gradually got worse and worse and worse until I went to, I just basically could not sit down or stand up just within a few minutes or quarter. Sorry, 15 minutes. Sorry, I was thinking in Arabic, ربع ساعة, so quarter of an hour. Within 15 minutes, it would just get very painful, and I just could not handle it. I had to lay down. So the pain was 24 hours a day. Even when sleeping, it would wake me up and stuff like that. They gave me, painkillers. Not painkillers as in Vicodin or anything very powerful, but it was like softer stuff. And I even took something that's like Tylenol extra strength. It was still there. So I go to the doctor, and in the same mustashfa, it's called Mustashfa Salam Al Gadida. It's a private hospital. It looks really nice and stuff like that. And he tells me, wait, sorry, before going into that. So the emergency room told me that I had to wear an irba, and an irba is basically a hot water bottle. And so I would put really, really boiling hot water in there, and I would put it on my back to try to like ease the pain. And it was kind of working, but then it leaked because I guess I didn't clamp it, I didn't close it tightly enough. So when I got out of bed one day, I felt there was like a little puddle, like about that big or something, next to my pillow, and I was like, oh man, this sucks. So I took it off and I went to turn on my light, and the light in my room, my old room now, it kind of comes out, and so you got to be careful. I remember my mom telling me, don't, you always got to dry your hands very well because you might get electrocuted. Well, it actually happened because I went to turn on the light, but I went behind the light because it sticks out. The thing is just like held by a few wires, and so I electrocuted myself, and that was painful. I screamed. My room was like, "What's going on?" And then the next day, the water was not working in my old apartment, and this is the one again in Sidi Bishr/Miami next to Bir Masoud. It was not working all day, which really sucked, especially when you're injured and you can barely get up anyways. So yeah, after 3 days, I couldn't take the pain. So I go to the doctor now. As I'm riding in the taxi on the way there, and it's quite a long taxi ride. Every bump hurts, and I'm just in so much pain, so much pain. And then on the corniche, we're almost there, and the tire blows out. And so the driver tells me agala, and that means both bicycle as well as wheel in Egyptian Arabic. We have different words in Syrian for both. So I was first confused. I'm just in so much pain. I was like, "What bicycle? Did he hit a bicycle? Why is he stopping?" And then I get out of the car and I see the tire blow out. I was like, "How much time you need?" Because my appointment's in 15 minutes. He's like, 3 minutes. I was like, "Oh, liar." So I just paid him the money, and I told him, "Where's the hospital?" He's like, "It's right there." I was like, "Okay." So I cross the street, sideways, and it's a very dangerous street to cross again. And I keep going, and I ask people, "Where is it?" And they're like, "It's right down there, right down there." And I figured out that right down there, again, is pretty far, and I'm in so much pain. I start asking taxis to just take me there, but it's only a 2 pound ride because they don't want to pick you up if you're only going for a 2 pound ride. I didn't have a neck brace or anything. I was just walking with my head to the side like this, and so no one they wouldn't pick me up, and so that really sucked. I was like, oh, why do they have this habit of asking you where you go before? So I go to the doctor, and he seems like he knows what he's doing. He gives me pain medicine. I have to get a shot in my butt, in my behind, yes, every day for 3 days, and that's because it's supposed to go into your body slower, and it's for pain. And I take all these drugs and stuff like that, and I return to him after 3 days. He says, "Okay, stop taking that, and keep taking your medicine." So, I keep taking my medicine, and something again, you could just go to any pharmacy and get whatever medicine you want. It's very cheap, so I'm happy about that. But I guess it could be used for wrong. I would just go to the pharmacy and give them the syringe, because you could just buy those, and then give them the medicine and be like, "Please give this to me," and they would just be like, "Okay, 1 pound," which is less than 20 cents. So that's really cool. Now, when I went back for the third day, he asked me to take an MRI, magnetic resonance imaging. And so I went and did that, and they found out that cartilage between my fifth and sixth vertebrae and my cervical vertebrae, so right back here in the neck, um, was protruding and pushing against the nerve. Now they had labeled this thing lumbosacral, and lumbar is in the bottom region. You have lumbar, thoracic, and then cervical, which is a huge, huge mistake. Yeah, when I saw him, this doctor, he's an orthopedic surgeon. He just looked at the pictures, and then he opened up the envelope with the report and he read it, and I think he just looked at the bolded area, and he's like, "Oh yeah, not that big of a problem. Just do this and this and you'll get better." I don't think he had any clue what he was talking about. I just looked at his face and I thought that he just didn't know what he was doing. After a week, no change. I got another MRI a week later. I was very worried. My family wanted me to return to the US. I mean, it was really, really serious. I just was in bed for approximately 2 weeks or something like that with a lot of pain. The MRI said there was no change, no improvement. And I told him, I was like, "How did you label it lumbosacral when it's cervical?" And not that I'm a medical genius. My sister told me that, and she's in med school. And then I looked it up on Wikipedia, and she was right. And so they just give me the paper back, and they retype it up, and they add a little detail about the nerve, but nothing special. And they rechange the name, and they don't even apologize. And I told my friend, and he's like, "Yeah, that's normal. They won't apologize to you for making a mistake like that." And so that's why my family was really worried about the medical care. I did one on my brain, and I was okay. So I start calling doctors, other doctors, and my parents want me to go to the best doctor in Alexandria, who's a neurosurgeon and specializes in the backbone. I asked quite a few doctors, like 3 or 4, got their opinions from the U.S. One of them a neurosurgeon, and other people orthopedic surgeons and stuff like that. And I got mixed responses, but I wanted someone who actually saw me. So I went to there was this guy who studied in Germany, and you know how I like Germany and German and stuff like that. But he was out of town. He's actually in Germany right now till the end of the month. So I go to this guy. He's a professor, and I went to him last Sunday because I just left the other doctor. I didn't go back to him even though he said to come back. He's a professor at the medical school. He's a neurosurgeon. He specializes in the backbone